straight first to some news that's just coming in from Maharashtra. Well, the state cabinet has now decided to grant 16% reservations for Maratha and 5% for Muslims in the state. That means total reservation in Maharashtra will now be 73%, which exceeds the Supreme Court cap of 50%. This, of course, is being done with an eye on assembly elections that is slated for later this year. So that's the latest decision made by Maratha cabinet. Reservations that have been announced, a proposal that was made by the Rane panel, and now cabinet endorsing it with reservations that have been announced for Maratha as well as Muslims in Maharashtra. Let me quickly go across to Sahil Joshi for more details. Sahil, the Apex Court had made it absolutely clear that total reservations should not exceed 50%. The big question is, will it be legally tenable?
See, there are some states in India, especially states like Tamil Nadu, who have given more than 50% reservation. That is what the Maharashtra government has said. And the communities which only belong to the state can be given reservation as per the law. So Maratha is a community which exists only in Maharashtra, and that is the reason why Maharashtra government has taken that side and have said that Marathas will get Arakshan. Maratha as a caste will get Arakshan. Actually, committee under Industry Minister Narayan Rane had recommended 20% reservation for Maratha community, but the Maharashtra government has decided, the cabinet has decided to give 16% reservation to the Maratha community in government jobs, whereas 5% reservations will be given to the Muslim community. The highest reservation in Maharashtra is to OBCs, the other backward castes, that is around 19%, and overall reservation till now was 52%, but because of this 16% and 5%, now the total reservation in Maharashtra will be around 73% for the government jobs. Looking at the decision, it's pretty clear that the decision was taken due to pressure and of upcoming assembly elections. The bad performance of Congress and NCP in Lok Sabha elections made the government to take this decision earliest. Actually, this demand is being raised by the Maratha MLAs since quite a long time. So finally, government had to take this political decision, and they went ahead with this decision. They were waiting for 20th June because the code of conduct, because of some legislative council elections, there was a code of conduct in Maharashtra, and so the decision could not be taken till 20th of June. Now the decision has been taken, and now the government, Congress and NCP feel that this decision will definitely help them in assembly elections, upcoming assembly elections.
All right, this decision taken keeping in mind the upcoming assembly elections in the state of Maharashtra. But at the same time, Sahil, if you look at the voting pattern in the Lok Sabha elections, clearly people, irrespective of their caste and creed, they voted in large numbers for BJP, for the Modi government this time. So was there any sort of skepticism as far as the chief minister is concerned or the ruling dispensation is concerned that this is a formula which may or may not work?
In Maharashtra, the Maratha caste has always been predominantly voting for Congress, and later after 1999 NCP, especially this caste is predominantly a decisive factor in Western Maharashtra. A lot of seats in Western Maharashtra and Marathwada, which is supposed to be NCP and Congress' strong area. But this time in Lok Sabha elections, what Congress and NCP saw that their position got deteriorated so much that even they got hit in their stronghold areas in Western Maharashtra and Marathwada. So now, coming back to the original question, that now the Congress and NCP thought that this is the best time if they do not accept Narayan Rane Committee's recommendations of providing reservations to the Maratha caste. It will be very difficult for them to face the assembly elections with the same energy. Because most of the Maratha votes, what they could see that the swing in the Maratha votes towards BJP and Shiv Sena.
All right, just stay on with me, Sahil, because Devendra Fadnavis of the BJP in Maharashtra is now joining us on the phone line. Your first reaction, sir, to the reservations that have been announced by the Maharashtra cabinet?
See, first of all, we welcome the reservation given to Marathas. But one thing is there, 15 years, this government has been promising Maratha reservation, but only after a shameful defeat they got in Lok Sabha elections. Now ahead of poll, they have announced Maratha reservation. But while announcing this, due care which they should have taken, the proper course of law which they should have, gone through, they did not go. They did not take any recommendation of the backward commission. So we are doubtful whether this reservation will stand scrutiny of law. So it is just a part of vote bank politics. Moreover, if you look at the reservation given to Muslims, this is absolutely unconstitutional. Constitution does not provide for any reservation based on religion. So when government know that there is no constitutional provision of giving reservation on the basis of religion, and still they are going ahead with it, it's purely vote bank politics. They are using Muslims as a vote bank. And this reservation will not stand scrutiny of law because it is absolutely unconstitutional.
Right. Is the BJP worried that Maratha reservation might cut into Shiv Sena's vote bank, considering that really is the pocket that the Congress NCP dispensation may be targeting with giving out this reservation just ahead of assembly elections?
No, I don't think so, because the entire Maratha community knows that why this reservation has been given at this point of time. This demand was there for last 15 years, and for 15 years this government was promising. So, in fact, Maratha reservation anyway, they did not have given the new government, our government would have given it.
All
it
right.
is not the only issue. There are so many issues, and Marathas will support BJP, Shiv Sena on other issues, because we have been standing behind them all the while.
All right, Mr. Fadnavis, appreciate you joining us. So BJP clearly making that distinction while it supports reservation that has been announced for Marathas. At the same time, it says the Muslim quota plan of the government in Maharashtra is unconstitutional. Let me bring in Abu Azmi of the Samajwadi Party, who's joining us right now. Mr. Azmi, your reaction. The BJP says the quota that has been announced for Muslims in Maharashtra is unconstitutional.
No, how it is unconstitutional? This is constitutional. In so many states has given reservation to Muslim community, but something is better than nothing. Reservation कम है, क्योंकि जितनी भी कमीशन बिठे हैं सबने 15%, 10% रिजर्वेशन मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी के लिए किया है, परंतु अभी इलेक्शन आ रहा है तो सरकार इतने सालों के बाद इलेक्शन में वोट लेने के लिए सरकार ने किया. Even then, I welcome this decision, but we need at least 10% reservation.
All right, you're saying you welcome this, but you think it's too little. There should have been at least 10% reservation. But the BJP says that you cannot support reservation for Muslim, a quota for Muslim, because the constitution clearly says it, that you cannot have reservation on the basis of religion.
No, it's wrong. It's wrong. On basis of caste, they have given reservation. This subject is debatable. इससे डिबेट हो सकती है, लेकिन क्या धर्म के नाम पर इस देश में रिजर्वेशन मिला है, लेकिन ये लंबी बहस है. ये बिल्कुल नहीं देने का एक बहाना है. और जो भी जिस तरह भी बहस करना चाहे कर लें. यदि आज कोई धर्म के लोग आज रिजर्वेशन में आते हैं, अगर वो अपना धर्म चेंज करके मुस्लिम बन जाए तो उनका रिजर्वेशन खत्म हो जाएगा, क्योंकि उन्होंने धर्म चेंज किया है. तो धर्म के नाम रिजर्वेशन तो मिल चुका है देश के अंदर.
Mr. Azmi, 16% reservations for Maratha and 5% for Muslims. What that effectively means that in Maharashtra, you now have 73% reservation. The Supreme Court had earlier said that you can't have reservation for more than 50%. So clearly, the state there seems to be treading on thin ice, because many would question whether this would actually pass legal scrutiny.
मैडम, रिजर्वेशन देखिए, मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी बहुत ही पिछड़ी थी. मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी में बहुत प्रॉब्लम है. सारे कमीशन ने कहा है कि आज मुस्लिम की हालत एससी और एसटी से भी बदतर है, आदिवासियों से भी खराब है. आज जो है इनको रिजर्वेशन मिलना चाहिए. मराठा रिजर्वेशन को समाजवादी पार्टी ने पहले से सपोर्ट किया हुआ है. तो अभी जो भी है रिजर्वेशन जो अनाउंस किया गया, इसको हम वेलकम करते हैं, लेकिन थोड़ा सा मुस्लिम रिजर्वेशन बढ़ना चाहिए.
Abu Azmi of the Samajwadi Party, of course, welcoming the reservation that's been announced for Muslims in Maharashtra. Clearly, all this is being done keeping in mind assembly elections, which are due later this year, and Prithviraj Chauhan government just announcing reservation for Marathas in Maharashtra cabinet meeting this evening. A grant of 16% reservation for Marathas and 5% for Muslims, taking the total reservation in Maharashtra now up to 73%. Will it be legally tenable? That is the big question.